Welcome back, America. We have a very important member of the House of Representatives. He's the chairman of the House Ways and Means Committee, a very powerful committee, Representative Jason Smith. Welcome to the program, Congressman. Congressman, this whole issue of these foreign governments, the radical left, and their war on America, how these foreign governments are influencing our country through these radical left-wing groups that are trying to destroy ICE, that really are trying to destroy our country, and the Democrat Party is playing along. More than that, they're like the umbrella group to these groups. You're investigating this. Tell us what you're investigating and what you're finding. You had a big hearing on this.
That's exactly right, Mark. It's great to be with you. At the Ways and Means Committee, we have been investigating this for over 3 years. There are more than 1.5 million different nonprofits, 501cs in the country. A lot of the non-for-profits are doing community activity. They're doing the right thing. But what we have discovered is that some of these non-for-profits are in fact supporting and initiating events that are creating violence and chaos and disruptions, like breaking laws throughout the United States. We've seen that in LA, we've seen that in Minnesota. And when you look at these non-for-profits, Mark, a lot of the resources and the money that supports them is coming from foreign governments and outside billionaires, like Swiss billionaires or British billionaires. We have a former American executive, Roy Singham, who lives in Shanghai Singham, that has helped fund these groups that are creating unrest throughout the United States. And so, Mark, it's important to say that why this is so important to prevent these funds from happening. We believe as Americans, everyone has the freedom of speech and expression. You absolutely do. But the tax code should not subsidize you going against U.S. values, U.S. citizenry, and creating violence. That should not be the case, but that is the case right now.
Why is it that most of the media ignore this? I know Fox News Digital has done a great job covering this. We have organizations that are researching this. Your committee is doing a great job disclosing much of this. So when we see these people who are showing up at these ICE events, and they are violent, and they're screaming, and they're whistling, and they're doing all these things, they're carrying the same signs, the rest of the media do not seem interested in even presenting what's going on, even though they know what's going on. The Democrat Party knows what's going on. It's complicit in this, and they want to literally change how we secure our nation through ICE, how we deport people, and so forth and so on. Isn't it because it literally helps the Democrat Party to destroy our immigration system, whether it's bringing people into the country, whether it's deporting people? They think it's going to increase their congressional numbers, their electoral college votes, ultimately birthright citizenship and voting. Isn't this a massive power play?
You know, it's all about their political agenda. When you're looking at these abuses of the 501cs by the left-wing groups, I like to say that this is not a movement. They are a machine. If you look at the web of resources and money that's going from one non-for-profit to a foundation that then goes to X, Y, and Z that creates and funds various protests, you look at some of the signs at these protests, there are some really fancy signs, and it takes a lot of money. And when we say protest, we're not talking about just disagreeing. These folks are doing anti-Semitic activity. It's exactly what they did on our college campuses, and they're just continue to breed hate and anti-Semitism and disruptions and violence.
When we come back, Congressman, my question is, why can't we stop the flow of foreign money into these organizations? Because to me, that's the nub of the matter. Even the Democratic Socialists of America, you have members in Congress who belong to this organization. This organization is one of the points of the spear in this entire operation.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.